Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, June 28th, and this local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. An effort is underway to replace a fountain that was toppled in Flagler Beach last week. John Arking reports.
The fountain, located at Veterans Park in Flagler Beach, was discovered laying in pieces after last week's Flagler Beach City Commission meeting. Commissioner Ken Bryan says it may have fallen on its own, although it could be someone pushed it over. Either way, police are still investigating, but Bryan says there are no cameras in the vicinity to provide any leads. The incident is particularly disturbing to Bryan, as he has spearheaded efforts to clean up the park and is now hoping to replace the park's current benches,
which are very old and deteriorating, and the wood is very bad and splintered. So what I did was I talked to the Flagler group leaders this morning. I said, hey guys, or yesterday actually, I said, hey, what about this? How about if we take on Veterans Park benches as a sponsorship? And I'll buy the first bench in honor of my uncle, who was in the Air Force for 36 years. And what we can do is actually sponsor a bench for a veteran. It's open for anyone that wants to sponsor a bench. They'll actually pay for the restoration of it. And we get a brass plaque made up, and we actually put that on the bench in honor of this particular veteran along with their rank.
As for the fountain, Bryan says the group, Flagler Strong, is starting up a GoFundMe page to raise money for its replacement. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
This week, the city of Palm Coast is conducting smoke testing of its residential sewer lines. Homes in the Woodlands B section will be affected.
It will include all streets between Old Kings Road and Colbert Lane, from Blairsville Drive to Oak Trail Boulevard. The smoke testing will be done Monday through Thursday, June 28th through July 1st.
Brittany Kershaw, Director of Public Information and Engagement for the city, tells us more about the test.
This test involves forcing smoke into the sanitary sewer lines to check for leaks, breaks, or defects in the system. The smoke is odorless, creates no fire hazard, and will not enter your home or business unless there is a defect.
Those defects could include poor plumbing or dried up sink traps or floor drains. If smoke does enter your home during testing, you should leave and notify crews. If you suffer from a heart condition or have asthma, emphysema, or other respiratory conditions and plan to stay home during the smoke test, you're urged to call the city in advance.
The year got started off a little rough.
Hotels have been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Amy Cherry has more.
Ryan Crabb, general manager of the Hilton Garden Inn in Palm Coast, tells WNZF the Daytona 500 being held at half capacity hit them hard, but things began rebounding in March.
Bike week was here, spring break was here, and we just took off like crazy. And so we're running right around the 78% occupancy year to date, which is actually a little better than pre-COVID, 2019, 2018. People are back, and it's a great thing to see.
In May, he says the hotel saw its best month on record in the 12 years since it's been open. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
An insurance company grant allows the Flagler County Sheriff's Office to buy life-saving equipment. Rich Peschke has the story.
Sheriff Rick Staley says the department received $5,000 from the Preferred Insurance Tips program.
It allowed us to purchase tourniquets that deputies could wear on their gun belt. This would allow them to save their life if they are seriously injured, or to save a citizen's life that may have a traumatic injury and the deputy is first on the scene.
Sheriff Staley says they are always looking for grant opportunities
to support the Sheriff's Office and our mission, whether it's a small grant or a large grant. We apply for it to take the burden off our local taxpayers. We appreciate the insurance company providing us this grant.
The tourniquets are going to be part of the standard equipment issued to all new deputies assigned to the Community Policing Division. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Peschke.
Some say affordable housing is an issue in Flagler County, but what's being done to improve the situation?
Deborah Paradowski, Flagler County's former housing program coordinator, says that there is a program that deals with affordable housing. It's called SHIP.
So it stands for the State Housing Initiatives Partnership. Some years ago, the counties and cities were asked to develop plans for affordable housing for all of the economic segments in their communities.
Paradowski said that since it was an unfunded mandate, there was a need for funding.
They've increased the document stamp tax a little bit. That's what you pay when you have a deed recorded through a real estate transaction so that they can create a dedicated funding source.
Perdowski said that the county gets the funding from the state to preserve affordable housing in local communities. You can listen to the Flagler Voice where this interview came from here on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 8:30 or catch the podcast on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, affordable housing is not what you might think it is. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.